Quantifying the Unseen, investigating demonic and spiritual intervention through scientific measurement and analysis against effects described in physics, astronomy and chemistry and study of occult folklore, by Helix alias MS.Sions in Robotics, Wireless Communications 2022. 1. Demonology and Introduction to Supernatural and Metaphysical Anthropology, Anomalous Psychology, Parapsychology, and Transcendental Sociology. Demonology, far from being a relic of the superstitious past, occupies a surprisingly multifaceted role in contemporary academic discourse. While traditionally focused on the study of demons and malevolent supernatural beings, a modern understanding of demonology delves deeper. It examines the human fascination with, and interpretation of, anomalies that fall outside the realm of conventional scientific explanation. This introductory text explores demonology as a bridge between seemingly disparate disciplines. It delves into the rich tapestry of religious narratives, serving as a window into humanity's long-standing fascination with the unseen and potentially malevolent. Among the most ancient expressions of metaphysical anthropology is Zoroastrianism, a religion tracing its roots back to 2nd millennium BCE Persia. Zoroastrianism posits a clear duality between the benevolent Ahura Mazda and the malevolent Angra Mainyu. This cosmic struggle spills over into the human world, with devas, demonic entities, seen as instruments of chaos and destruction. Duchesne-Guillemin, 1951. Moving forward in time, we find demons and their influence woven into the fabric of major world religions. Abrahamic religions, including Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all grapple with the concept of demonic forces. In Judaism, the Hebrew word shed often translates to demon, encompassing fallen angels and malevolent spirits that can tempt humans towards sin. The Book of Job, for instance, depicts Satan, the Hebrew word for adversary, as a challenger testing Job's faith. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, "Hast thou not put a hedge around him and his house and all that he has on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions are increasing in the land. But stretch forth thy hand now, and touch all that he has, and he will curse thee to thy face." Job 1:10-11. Source: the Bible. King James Version, NRSV. Christianity inherits much of the demonological framework from Judaism. Demons are often portrayed as fallen angels cast out of heaven by God, as depicted in the Book of Revelation. And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fighting against the dragon and his angels fighting back. But they were defeated, and there was no longer any place for them in heaven. And the great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent, who was called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Revelation 12:7-9. Source: the Bible. King James Version, NRSV. Possession by demons becomes a recurring theme, with the figure of Jesus performing exorcisms documented in the Gospels. Mark 1:23-28. Islam, too, acknowledges the existence of jinn, supernatural beings created from fire before humans. Quran 15:26-27. While some jinn are benevolent, others, like the shaitan, Arabic for devil, are seen as tempters and deceivers. The Quran mentions the jinn's role in the story of Prophet Solomon, who is said to have controlled them using his divinely bestowed wisdom. Quran 27:17-44. The predynastic period, ca. 6000 BCE in the Nile River Valley, witnessed the rise of some of humanity's earliest complex societies. This period also saw the flourishing of Egyptian religion, a belief system that laid the groundwork for concepts later classified as demonology. Unlike some other traditions, ancient Egypt lacked a single, unifying name for its religion. Scholars, however, often refer to it as ancient Egyptian religion, or Kemet religion. The latter term derives from the ancient Egyptian word Kemet, meaning black land, likely a reference to the fertile, dark soil deposited by the annual Nile floods. Wendrick, 2013. This complex belief system encompassed the emergence of metaphysical forces that could be perceived as malevolent, aligning with concepts explored in modern demonology. Kemet KMT religion, therefore, offers one of the earliest documented examples of demonological beliefs. Central to this system is the concept of a cosmic battle between order and chaos. Apep, a monstrous serpent, embodies this chaotic force, constantly threatening to devour the sun god Ra. Pritchard, 1958. This struggle is exemplified in the excerpt from the funerary text, the Book of the Dead, the Papyrus of Ani, where the deceased proclaims, "I have fought the serpent Apep, who is my enemy. Apep is overthrown upon his back." The Book of the Dead, the Papyrus of Ani. Source: Budge, EAW 1912. The Book of the Dead, the Papyrus of Ani, Volume 3. Dover Publications. Long after the Egyptian predynastic period c. 6000 BCE 3100 BCE, and the 30th dynasty 380 BCE 332 BCE, the vast Greco-Roman world 8th century BCE 4th century CE fostered a complex and multifaceted belief system. Unlike some later religions with centralized tenets, Greco-Roman religion lacked a single, unifying name. Instead, it encompassed a diverse range of practices and beliefs, often referred to as Hellenic religion, ancient Greece, and Roman religion, which interacted and influenced each other over time, e.g., Ferron, 1999. This religious tapestry also incorporated concepts related to the malevolent, supernatural, and spirits. Greco-Roman religion offered a nuanced perspective on demonology compared to some other traditions. The concept of daemons formed a broad category of spirits, encompassing a spectrum of benevolent and malevolent entities. Some daemons served as intermediaries between gods and humans, facilitating communication and offerings. Others, however, were associated with misfortune, illness, or even possession. Plato's Symposium exemplifies this duality, describing daimons as allotted a middle station between gods and mortal men, conveying prayers and blessings. Plato, 1977. This highlights how daimons could both connect humanity to the divine and pose a potential threat. But there are other spirits. Daimons allotted a middle station between gods and mortal men, being the conveyors of prayers from men to the gods, and of blessings from the gods to men. Plato's Symposium. Source. Plato, 1977. Symposium. Translated by W. Hamilton. Penguin Classics. For example, the story of Clytemnestra, Queen of Mycenae, ignites a chilling tale of murder, revenge, and a vengeful spirit. A central figure in Aeschylus' Oresteia trilogy, she orchestrates the murder of her husband, Agamemnon, upon his return from the Trojan War, fueled by his sacrifice of their daughter, Iphigenia. Aeschylus, Agamemnon. Following the matricide by her son Orestes, Clytemnestra's ghost appears, a source of torment. Behold me, a fury terrible to face, your mother whom you murdered. See how I waste away, a phantom thing, by you dishonored. Aeschylus, the Libation's Geoffrey. The Oresteia by Aeschylus offers a compelling case study in Greek demonology through the vengeful spirit of Clytemnestra. Following her murder by her son Orestes, Clytemnestra manifests as a terrifying apparition, blurring the lines between the dead and the demonic. Aeschylus portrays her as a fury terrible to face. The Libation's Geoffrey, 1956, emphasizing her wrathful and potentially malevolent nature. This spectral torment inflicted upon Orestes resonates with the concept of daemons in Greek religion, spirits that could be benevolent or malevolent. Clytemnestra's ghost, fueled by rage and a desire for vengeance, embodies a particularly malevolent force. Her spectral form serves not as a peaceful spirit but as a source of suffering, akin to how some daemons were associated with misfortune or possession. The resolution of the Oresteia, with the establishment of a formal justice system, can be interpreted as an attempt to appease or contain the disruptive power of Clytemnestra's ghost. While not explicitly mentioned, the play acknowledges the lingering unrest caused by her spirit, reflecting a potential concern with unavenged deaths and the disruptive influence they could hold in the Greek worldview. Hinduism c. 1500 BCE present boasts a vast and diverse body of literature encompassing metaphysics, rituals, and demonology. Within this framework, specific spirits play crucial roles. The Garuda Purana, an ancient text estimated to be composed between the 3rd and 11th centuries CE, vividly describes Pretas. A Preta, tormented by hunger and thirst, with a swollen belly and a thin neck, wanders here and there, weeping and wailing. Garuda Purana, Chapter 1. Flood, Gavin D. Death and the Afterlife in Hinduism, the Journal of Hindu Studies, Vol. 1, No. 1, 1989, pp. 1-20. This quote portrays Pretas as restless, malevolent spirits suffering from unfulfilled desires. Hinduism offers rituals and practices aimed at appeasing or controlling such spirits, as exemplified by the Mahanirvana Tantra, a late medieval era c. 10th, 12th century CEC text associated with tantric practices, those who dwell in terrible places. Mountains, trees, and cremation grounds. These are the bhutas. They should be worshipped with offerings, so that they may not cause illness or misfortune. Mahanirvana Tantra, Chapter 8. Sengupta, Ajit Kumar. The Post-Kushana Tantric Tradition in the History of Hinduism, edited by Sushil Muni, Vol. 1, Munsher and Manoharlal Publishers, PVT, Ltd., 2004, pp. 701-773. The text describes Buddhas as spirits inhabiting specific locations, potentially causing harm if not appeased. This approach reflects the belief in influencing spirits through offerings. The ancient Japanese have imported Buddhism, and it has been a primary faith since 5th century BCE, with most scholars placing it between 538 CEC and 552 CE. Japan's religious landscape is complex, with Shinto forming the foundation for understanding spirits. Shinto, meaning the way of the gods, focuses on kami, spirits that permeate nature and everyday objects. The Kojiki record of ancient things, an 8th century CE foundational text, establishes the concept of kami. In the beginning, when heaven and earth were not yet separated, there existed a thing misty and formless. This was called the august and central sovereign kami. Kojiki, Chapter 1, Florentia, Busancar, Shinto and Religions of the World, Routledge, 2018, pp. 421-439. 2. Demonology. Beyond the folkloric, a critical reassessment considering metaphysical anthropology. The Lesser Key of Solomon Lemegen, Clavicula Salomonis. The title itself, Lemegeton Clavicula Salomonis, offers clues to the nature of the Lesser Key. Lemegen is believed to be a corruption of a Greek term signifying little or lesser, indicating its introductory nature. Skinner, Stephen Rankin, Joseph. The Goetia of the Lemegeton Clavicula Salomonis. Llewellyn Publications, 2004, p. 11. Clavicula translates to little key, further suggesting a guide or introduction. Weight, A.E. The Book of Black Magic and of Pax Thelema Publications, 2011, p. 212. Finally, Salomonis is the Latin genitive form of Solomon, referencing the biblical King Solomon, a figure associated with wisdom and magic in Western esoteric traditions. Parfit, Tudor. The Secret Tradition in Tarot, Aquarian Press, 1983, p. 102. However, it's important to note that King Solomon himself likely had nothing to do with the creation of this collection, which originated during the Renaissance period, drawing on older magical practices. The Lesser Key of Solomon is not a monolithic text, but rather a collection of 5 distinct grimoires. 1. The Lesser Key itself, also referred to as the Ars Goetia, focuses on the conjuration and interaction with demons. Skinner, Stephen Rankin, Joseph. The Goetia of the Lemegeton Clavicula Salomonis, Llewellyn Publications, 2004. 2. The Ars Goetia, while debated as a later edition, offers instructions for angelic magic, often seen as a counterpoint to the demonic rituals of the Ars Goetia. Skinner, Stephen Rankin, Joseph. The Goetia of the Lemegeton Clavicula Salomonis, Llewellyn Publications, 2004. 3. The Ars Paulina provides instructions for invoking beneficial angels for specific goals like healing, protection, or knowledge. Skinner, Stephen Rankin, Joseph. The Goetia of the Lemegeton Clavicula Salomonis, Llewellyn Publications, 2004. 4. The Ars Almadel details the creation and consecration of magical tools and talismans believed to aid in magical workings. Skinner, Stephen Rankin, Joseph. The Goetia of the Lemegeton Clavicula Salomonis, Llewellyn Publications, 2004. 5. The Ars Notoria focuses on angelic invocations for acquiring specific skills or knowledge, such as languages, arts, or understanding hidden things. Skinner, Stephen Rankin, Joseph. The Goetia of the Lemegeton Clavicula Salomonis, Llewellyn Publications, 2004. The Lesser Key of Solomon, often shrouded in misconception, is a collection of grimoires central to Western esoteric traditions. One common misconception is that the Key of Solomon refers to a single book. It encompasses several anonymously authored grimoires containing instructions on magic, demonology, and ceremonial practices. This section will focus on the Lesser Key of Solomon, also known as the Lemegeton Clavicula Salomonis, to dispel some of the myths surrounding it, but will call mention to the Greater Key of Solomon, Clavicula Salomonis, debunking the King's Pact. The Lesser Key of Solomon, a collection of anonymously authored grimoires central to Western esoteric traditions, has been shrouded in misconceptions throughout history. One such misconception centers on the existence of a King's Pact, a supposed binding agreement between demons and a figure like King Solomon. This thesis aims to critically analyze the Lesser Key and other time-appropriate scriptures to debunk this pervasive myth. The concept of a universal demonic pact is absent from major religious texts contemporaneous with the Lesser Key's emergence during the Renaissance period. The standard Bible used during this era, the Latin Vulgate. Eliot, John H. The History of the Bible from its origin to the present time. Hodder and Stoughton, 1882, lacks any mention of such a pact. Similarly, a close examination of the Hebrew Bible Old Testament reveals no such concept. Passages like Job 1:6-12 depict Satan interacting with God, but there's no mention of a pact being formed. Alter, Robert. The Book of Job, a commentary. W. Norton Company, 2018. The New Testament, portraying Jesus encountering demons in the Gospels, also presents no instances of pacts being involved. Brown, Raymond E. An Introduction to the New Testament. Doubleday, 1997. This absence within foundational religious texts suggests the King's Pact is not a concept rooted in era-appropriate religious traditions. While the Lesser Key itself omits the King's Pact, the concept may have emerged from various sources within the broader field of esoteric traditions. Some grimoires outside the Lesser Key do mention pacts with demons, but these are typically temporary agreements for specific goals, not universal bindings imposed by a king. Butler, Geoffrey. The Myth of the Magus. Cambridge University Press, 1991. These temporary pacts differ significantly from the all-encompassing King's Pact misconception. Additionally, legends associating King Solomon with power over demons may have contributed to the misconception. However, such legends are embellishments, not historical facts. McClintock, John Strong James. Cyclopedia of Biblical, Theological, and Ecclesiastical Literature. Harper Brothers, 1889. King Solomon's likely detachment from the creation of the Lesser Key further undermines the idea of a King's Pact being central to the text. A critical examination of the Lesser Key of Solomon reveals no mention of a King's Pact. The concept appears to be a misconception arising from a combination of factors, including the presence of temporary pacts in other grimoires and embellishments surrounding King Solomon. By dispelling this myth, we gain a clearer understanding of the Lesser Key's contents and its place within the historical development of global esoteric traditions. The standard Bible during the Lesser Key's era was the Latin Vulgate. Eliot, John H. The History of the Bible from its origin to the present time. Hodder and Stoughton, 1882. However, the concept of a universal demonic pact is absent from both the Vulgate and other major religious texts, including the Hebrew Bible Old Testament and the New Testament. Passages like Job 1:6-12 depict Satan interacting with God, but there's no mention of a pact. Alter, Robert. The Book of Job, a commentary. W. Norton Company, 2018. Similarly, the Gospels portray Jesus encountering demons but without any pacts involved. Brown, Raymond E. An Introduction to the New Testament. Doubleday, 1997. Demonic pacts and Solomonic legends. Some grimoires outside the Lesser Key do mention pacts with demons, but these are typically temporary agreements for specific goals, not universal bindings. Butler, Geoffrey. The Myth of the Magus. Cambridge University Press, 1991. Legends associate King Solomon with power over demons, but these are embellishments, not historical facts. McClintock, John Strong James. Cyclopedia of Biblical, Theological, and Ecclesiastical Literature. Harper Brothers, 1889. Reclaiming the Occult. Beyond modern misconceptions, the term occult and occultism has a complex history, and its modern usage often falls short of its original meaning. At its core, occultism encompasses theories and practices concerned with hidden knowledge and supernatural or paranormal phenomena. These areas often lie beyond the immediate grasp of mainstream science and religion. Henning, Water J. New Age Religion and Western Culture Esotericism in the Mirror of Secular Thought. Brill, 1998. The key aspect of the occult is the focus on the hidden. Central to occultism is the belief in knowledge or forces that are not readily apparent to the senses or traditional modes of inquiry. This emphasis on the unseen sets it apart from mainstream knowledge systems. Florentia, Gabriel. An Inquiry Concerning the Nature of Magic. Jonathan Clark, 1664. More importantly, modern connotations associate occultism with cults or dark magic. Historically, it wasn't inherently negative. Many occult practices aimed at achieving spiritual growth, understanding the universe, or harnessing hidden forces. Dasgupta, Surendranath. A Study of Hindu Mysticism and Occultism. Indian Bookhouse, 1930. The connotations of occult meaning cult connection is incorrect. It is a broader and more diverse field, and its other negative connotation of darkness and evil is not accurate, as many occult traditions strive for self-development and enlightenment. Butler, Geoffrey. The Myth of the Magus, Cambridge University Press, 1991. Emergence, the term occult from the Latin occultus meaning hidden. Emerged in the West during the Renaissance 14th-17th centuries. It referred to hidden or mysterious knowledge. Dykhoff, D.T. Stewart Peter. Occult Supernatural Phenomena, Palgrave Macmillan, 2008. Concluded as such. Occultism is a multifaceted field of thought and practice, not a monolithic entity associated with cults or evil.